I'm Thresa Westaby. My husband Delmar and I farm in Stockton, Illinois, in the very northwest corner of Illinois. Our farm will turn 150 years old this January. It's been passed down directly from father to son for 5 generations, and hopefully my sons will be the 6th generation. We milk 81 Holsteins, and we run 641 acres. 240 acres are pastures, and the rest is beans, corn, wheat, oats. But our major crop is our hay, because we are self-sustaining. Everything that we grow, we use on the farm. The wheat does get sold off of the farm, but it's a good intermixed crop to help cover crops, to help with weeds and help prepare the soil. We started what we called biological farming in the early 90s. We had never heard of organic. We didn't know what it meant. And then we found out about what organic meant, so we certified officially in August of 2002.
Just an organic farm, period, you know, crops, livestock, everything is total organic farm. I think we was the 2nd organic dairy farm in the state of Illinois. With the organic milk, there's no insecticides, pesticides, fungicides, herbicides used on the organic ground. So I mean, you're not going to have anything like that coming back through the feed, you know, to the livestock. As a health benefit, I would think that would be a pretty big one.
The advantage of organic is that you know you're working with the soil, with nature, instead of against it all the time. And you know that you're not causing any pollution in the runoff into the streams. It's a healthier environment for your kids, healthier for the animals. You just seem to be more in tune with things around you. The challenges are very few and the benefits are enormous to be organic over conventional.
It gives you a bigger advantage just for the simple fact that your price is almost doubled, you know, compared to conventional milk. And I think just about every year that we've been on, it's almost been $1 increase. I think overall your input costs are probably less. You know, you maybe don't get quite the yield. The only bad thing is with organics, you don't have a rescue treatment, you know. Like last couple of years we've had wet spring, so it makes it tough to get in and hoe the corn or cultivate it to knock the weeds back at the stage you want. I mean, that's a challenge, but you know, it's something you overcome. You learn how to do it in different ways to get by.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. We get up, we milk cows, we take care of the calves, we grind feed for the day. If it's in the summer, we're harvesting feed, hauling manure for the fall. There's thunderstorms in the summer and you have calves to feed, you're still out there regardless of what it's like. In the winter, when there's blizzards, you first have to feed all the animals, clean all their beds and make sure they're dry and warm before you go to the house. I don't think there is a normal day on a farm. You just kind of go with the flow.
I guess it's all in what you're used to. I mean, I've grown up in a dairy farm my whole life, so I mean, I don't know of anything else. When everybody says you work hard, well, to me that's just every day. Yeah, I enjoy it. You know, there's days you wish it, you know, when the weather comes in or something, you know, you got to push harder to get something done, but overall, you know, it's satisfying. That's probably the best way to describe it.
It's an awful lot of work, but it's a wonderful life. I wouldn't change it at all. We sell our milk through Organic Valley Co-op from Lafarge, Wisconsin. They're a great company. It's a co-op of farmers. It was started by 7 original farmers, and they've really encouraged small family farms, and they encourage all of us to participate in all the decisions that are made.
As far as the people go, I mean, I don't think you could ask for anybody better. They're a great company to work for. If you have a chance to go with them, I'd go with them in a heartbeat.
And also Organic Valley, when they pick up our milk, it stays local. It's a 7-state region, and it's only sold here. Organic Valley actually has stricter standards than the USDA standards. There's a few things that the USDA does allow for organic farms that Organic Valley doesn't allow. And their standards are really tight. They test every load.
You want to produce the best product you can to put it out there for the consumer, because we all know if you don't have the quality product, you're not in business a long time. I don't care what you produce.
We get paid on the highest quality of our milk, so it only helps us to have good, clean, healthy milk, because we lose money every time if the quality would go down. And flies can be a big indicator of that. Your PI level or LPC level, which is quality, if you have a lot of flies, and flies can get in the milk, can get on the pipelines, can get in your equipment, they can make those go sky high.
Well, the fewer flies you have, usually the better your production is on your cows, because you have less stress on them. And so, you know, and your calves, you know, you get a lot of flies, you end up with pink eye. You know, they'll carry diseases. So I mean, it's just a bad situation all the way around if you have a lot of flies around.
It's basically the same principle as a person. The cows don't like flies, and I can remember sitting and watching our cows run to the timber to get away from the flies, or we'd look down the road in the pasture down below and you'd see calves running. They don't like the flies on them. The flies, and if cows are moving and they're not sitting and relaxing, they're not producing milk. So in the spring, you have what's called spring flush. They produce the most milk, and if the flies are bothering them, you generally will have a spring flush and it'll start to come down. If there's a lot of fly pressure, it'll just continue down because the cows are continually trying to escape the flies and trying to escape the biting. So if the cows are happy and they're sitting, laying still and they're comfortable, they're producing more milk. So absolutely I would recommend the fly predators. We started using them in 2003 and we've used them ever since. And they're the only thing we use. I mean, you couldn't have set out here 7 years ago and had this conversation without doing this fly all the time. So absolutely I would recommend them. If we were conventional and weren't organic and could use anything we wanted to, sprays or otherwise, we would still be with predators. When we sprayed, it was $1,400 a month. That was strictly for the barn only, and they were effective for, you know, at the very most a week, and then after that there was really no control anymore.
Well, before we used the fly predators, we used to use fly spray. We'd fog the barn. We'd put powder on the cows. The thing it is, when you put the powder on, you get a wet year. It seems like you're doing it all the time, you know, just trying to keep the flies off of them.
Spraying, you were always trying to catch up, and with the predators, you're usually ahead. My daughter had her graduation party for high school 4 years ago, and we had a big party out here, and not a single fly anywhere. I mean, it was amazing. We had all our food was outside, cake. You know, there was probably 150 people here, and we didn't have any issues with flies at all. I would highly recommend them, with the exception of if you're not going to do a good job with getting them out where they're supposed to be out, and making sure that you mow and keep things clean. Don't allow manure to pile up everywhere. You know, they're very effective as long as you do your part. And it's not hard to do that part. Just pay attention and watch where, if there's any buildup of weeds. You don't want a lot of weeds around and any places where the flies can hide. But if you do your part, the predators do theirs amazingly.
Well, as far as the cows go, they're a lot more content. You don't have flies biting them. I think we'd looked the other day, we were looking for flies on the cows, the biting kind, and we couldn't hardly even find any. We've had real good luck with them. I'd say they're probably doing their job if that's all we could find on the cows.
It's not an easy life, but it makes it a lot better without having flies around me all the time. It makes my life more bearable.